africano.
¿Por qué?
Este tío es un campeón.
¿Por qué? Porque puedo.
Alright guys, welcome back to Boiling It with Raj, the special edition episodes of No Offer. And today we have a voice, Estuardo, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Okay, man. Well, let's just start off with telling the people a little bit about you. You know, who you are, what you do.
I was dreading that question.
Yeah. Nah, honestly though, to be honest with you, I hate those questions where they're like, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, it's like I already know.
Yeah, that's why I did a video on it on this channel.
Mm-hmm.
On, you know, to help people how to answer that question, to tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
But you've done it before.
Yeah,
you've answered this question.
Yeah, going through your resume off the top of your head and everything.
Yeah, man. So
I feel like this is different because it's not about my resume. It's about just who I am, you know?
Yeah, so just be open about it, man. Who are you?
I mean, I don't know. I'd say I'm just, an average guy.
Average guy?
I mean, I think what we're here for, the most important thing, I think when you met me, I wasn't like this, but now, the most important thing, I would say I love God, I follow Jesus, I want to say a follower, but I went to Casa de Ley with you, I graduated in accounting, I worked in a tax firm, so that's kind of where my career path is. I just like working out, video games.
Dude, look at those guns, dude.
Nothing, I wouldn't say crazy,
But yeah, man, that's how we met. We met at a business firm. I mean, at a business organization on campus. And that's complete 4 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
4 years ago we met, and now here we are. Do you remember? Do you have any first impressions of me or anything like that?
Remember your long hair?
My long hair. Those are good times, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. That was simple, Raj. I felt like
simple.
Simple.
Yeah,
but then you changed.
I changed.
You
evolved?
Yeah, you evolved in your final form.
Well, to be honest, if you did meet me when I was in a freshman on campus, I have grown a lot. I feel like I've grown. Just not just by going to school, but also just the ages of 18 to 22. I feel like those are the ages where a lot of people just go through life for the first time.
Yeah.
So you're getting thrown into the real world, and you have to kind of navigate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Do you feel so? What do you think about that major of accounting?
I mean, I guess it depends where you end up, but I think it's kind of boring.
You think it's boring?
I mean, I chose it because when I started looking for majors, I was like, okay, what's gonna pay well? What are their opportunities that it's gonna grow and it's not gonna get replaced by technology? Okay. 'Cause, I mean, your major is useless if you're gonna get replaced by a computer,
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of factors like that is what I took into. So
that's smart.
Yeah, that's how I chose my degree, my career and stuff. But I mean, I think it's average. I've seen where I guess it depends where you end up. The company, it could be really fun, or it could be hell for you and stuff, based on the stories that I've heard. So
yeah. What are some of the horror stories that you've heard?
People working 16, 20 hours. They get home, they go to sleep, they wake up, they come back to work. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want. To me, that's not life. It's not. You're slaving away and stuff, and I didn't want that. So
yeah,
I don't want to work for those companies.
Yeah, I think that's something that's that's also something that I've heard when I majored in finance, so it's a little different.
Yeah. But
just meeting a lot of accounting people, I also heard about the horror stories of working a lot, not really having that, work-life balance, that buzzword used around and thrown around. But I think I've had a good experience when it comes to work-life balance. You were at a company for a couple years, right? 2.5 years.
Yeah.
How do you feel your work-life balance was there?
Oh, it was super good.
It was really
good? Really good. They were very lenient with me and stuff.
You were the boss, huh? You walked in whenever you wanted.
Honestly, yeah. There was times where it was funny. The manager. It was funny. Everybody, a lot of people didn't like her.
Mm-hmm.
But I just got along with her and she liked me, so she showed me a lot of favor. I was thankful to God. So when I told her, hey, I kind of don't want to. I want to leave early today. Okay, cool, leave. And I would usually I was to go to school to hang out and stuff. Or then they got to a point where there was no manager. We didn't have a manager, so they just trusted us to just be there at work. And I remember there were days I told my coworkers in my department in tax, I was like, I'm taking off, and I would take off pretty early and stuff.
Okay,
so
but you know, I also feel like you had that good relationship with your manager because of the conversation we're having a little earlier, where you're like, a job is just a job, it's a mean of income. I don't really look for a job to make me happy, and I feel like a lot of people when they enter like this job, especially in the corporate world, where we do have like some sort of have to have a relationship with your coworkers, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people sometimes look at them like they're above them, even just because they're above them in position wise.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a lot of like, wanting to be okay in their eyes and stuff like that. But you just saw it as work, saw them as an equal. Probably you're just like talking to them normal, right?
Yeah. So I mean, and I always try to I respected her position, but at the same time, I was also like, thank God, I had I wasn't in need of a job, so it's like, if they ever give me attitude, they ever treat me badly, you know what, I'll walk out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take attitude or anything. So it's like, I don't know. It just gives you a different position to come from. Like, we're just
you were very professional too, So I think that's the most important part, right? And eventually you decided to leave and pursue your master's again, right? Pursue your master's after your bachelor's.
Yeah. Well, no, I was well, the company was willing to pay for it. They were willing to pay for everything. So I was like, oh, why not do this master's? If the whole process to get into the master's and everything, it was pretty simple. So I applied, and then they were paying for everything. So I was like, oh, might as well do it and stuff, So yeah, when I was working for them,
I forgot about that. I forgot you did mention to me that the company was paying for the masters. That's actually really good.
Yeah, so that's why and I was taking it super slow, because it's like, oh, I can take it slow, and I can do like 1 or 2 classes per semester. I can work, and I can have my social life, and they're paying for everything. So it's like, oh, why not? Why not take advantage of that? So,
it's actually really smart. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, I hope one day I get to do my master's for free too.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm just focusing on like work and podcasts and things like that. But
that's good though.
But yeah, man, do you see yourself going back into the accounting world?
Yeah, pretty soon. I mean, I'm trying to look for work, and if I can find it in accounting in my field, I wouldn't mind. But I'm
it would
open
have to be. You're not looking for full time yet, right? Since you're still doing your master's.
Yeah, honestly, I would prefer to do part time at the moment. Right? Yeah, unless a really good full time opportunity comes along, I'm down to take it. Pays me well and everything. But I think right now I want part time.
So being in tax for so long, do you feel like you'll remain in tax? Are you looking for tax? Or are you open to like other forms of like business positions?
Think I want to stay in tax, but I'm open to getting experience in other fields. So I think auditing or internal audit, consulting, I would be open to that and stuff. Yeah, I would like it, but I think I'm probably gonna stay in tax. To be honest.
How often do you keep up with like the news, laws, and just things having to do with like overall the business world, because you're in tax and things could change and rules could change and all this and that? Zero.
If it's about business, news about business, I don't.
Oh, you don't really.
I don't care now.
You don't really.
I'm not paying attention to those type of news, to be honest.
Okay, that makes sense. What type of news do you look at?
What?
What type of news do you see?
I think I would say probably stuff that has to. The news stuff that's going on with I guess the church, and then like with the state and stuff like that. So I always say like abortion or like all this type of stuff where it's interfering with our rights as Christians or what we believe, and it's going completely against it. I have friends that post stuff about that, so then that's how I stay updated.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna tell you, like, I don't think I really see like local news or even like mainstream news really talk about how a current event is being impacted like your beliefs, right? I don't think we really see that nowadays, but it makes sense that you're getting these news and this information from social media, because I feel like 99.9% of the people we all get our stuff from social media.
Yeah.
Like, I was asked, do you watch the news? And I'm like, I honestly don't.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's really important,
Maybe.
like, it's gonna pop out all over my social media.
Yeah.
You know?
Someone else will let you know, to be honest.
Yeah, someone else will let you know.
I don't have to watch it. I'll just wait
That's,
for like the Balenciaga thing.
what happened with Balenciaga?
Oh, so they made posts, and it turns out, like, I guess they were zooming in on the stuff that it was like an advertisement, I think, and they had, like, for example, they just had stuff in the back, so they zoomed in, and it turned out that
please don't zoom into my.
you can zoom into this.
To this,
the Holy Bible.
The Holy Bible.
But I guess they zoomed into the back and something, and they saw that they had like child. I don't know if it was pornography or stuff that was promoting child pornography.
Oh, interesting.
And the people started coming against that, and so that's some of the news that I've gotten where my friends are posting.
I thought it was like a leakage.
I don't know if it was a leakage. I don't know if it was that, but so I'm not 100% caught up. I just know that again, like, if you're following this, you would never promote, like, hurting children and stuff like that. But there's not just the religious aspect. It's just a lot of people, you don't have to be religious. I think a lot of us know inside, like, that's wrong and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're pointing out, like, how far are we gonna let people go? Like, now they're coming for children. They're trying to normalize, like, pedophilia. Where do we take a stand? Are we gonna take a stand?
Right, that makes sense. And I also heard, like, how come there's not a lot of people out here fighting and rioting, like, saying, like, hey, this is happening. How come we don't say anything, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the stuff that I've seen on social media. But I guess, so I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones recently. And, because I'm a big history guy, bro. I love history.
All right.
I love learning about history, but I'm always thinking about the future, You gotta take both hand in hand, right?
Don't repeat the past.
Learn from the past.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good thing.
So I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones, and something that's completely different now, that was so common back in the day, was now we have separation of government and church, right? When back then it went hand in hand, right? Whatever the king's religion was. That's the one that was imposed on the people.
Yeah.
Whatever the spiritual leader at that time said, that's what went down, right?
Yeah.
And do you feel having that separation is beneficial to both believers and unbelievers? Or do you feel like back then having kind of that, like, uniform of laws with a belief system, what was better?
That's hard, because I think because even I've heard arguments, I think, for both, but I take it, let's see how God did it. He actually did have, like, a separate, they were called the Levites. They were I guess you would call them the religious side. And then you had a tribe from Judah. They were the kings. So even then you kind of see there's a separation of, like, this is the tribe that's going to be in charge of the government, the kings, and then these are the Levites, the priests. But so there's, like, a separation. There was a respect for both. Like, okay, the priests can't be kings, but the kings can't be priests. But they both served and followed the religious principles. So God, the law of God and stuff. And so
that's how you're an accountant, because, segregation
of duties.
Segregation of duties.
Yeah.